Oh, would you look at this?
Do you want to change the color on your Tuttio? We'll show you how to fix it.
Jippy.
Yes! That's awesome!
What up, YouTube? It's nobody special, Kizyle. Anyways, it's time to change the look of this Tuttio. Time to get rid of all this orange, add some cool accessories, and make the bike look better. Anyways, if you're a moto bro or e-bike person, go ahead and like and subscribe. Go ahead and comment saying, hey, I subscribed. I haven't missed a single comment yet, so maybe you'll be the first one I miss, but hey, I respond to all comments. So anyways, huge shout out to all my subscribers who essentially picked the colors and accessories that are going on this Tuttio. I got so many comments saying, wrap this thing in hot pink or purple, but luckily, purple won the battle. I really don't want to ride a hot pink bike. They said, wrap this battery in carbon fiber. Yep, doing that. They said, get yourself an ODI front plate. Yep, bought one of those. Said I need purple grips, got those too. Handlebar pad, they said you need a pro taper handlebar pad. I got a better one. I got a Send It handlebar pad. Said I need a light, got one of those. Front forks, said they gotta be silver or black, all right? We're gonna do each one in each color, see which one looks better. Orange wheels, gotta go. We're gonna spray those black. Said I need some new foot pegs. I don't know if I'm doing that in this video, maybe the other video. These ones, I really don't mind. I'm really not going fast or doing jumps on this. Said I need a gut seat cover. Probably gonna keep this one the same. Maybe wrap it in like a gator or something cool. I guess all the seat covers I've seen, they really don't fit this thing good. And orange spring, yep, that's gotta go. Gotta spray that black. The rear fender, got a new rear fender. Gonna show it to you here in a second. Serial nut came out with a nice V-tail, 3D printed, good looking rear fender. We're gonna put that on, spray the kickstand black, get rid of this little piece, and let's check out all the products and show you what's going on this bike. All right, here's all the stuff going on the Tuttio. All right, we got our color shifting Chameleon purple to blue wrap by VViViD, all right? It's gonna go here on the frame. These welds kind of screw everything up, so I'm gonna try to do piece by piece. I said I'd never wrap a dirt bike again, but here I am. We have our forged carbon fiber wrap by VViViD. It's going on the battery, possibly the front plate, seeing how it looks. Probably put it down here as well. Amazon, cheapy, super bright, rechargeable headlight. I think that was at 25 bucks. ODI plate, 25 bucks. We do have our silver chrome wraps. Gonna do one on the fork right here, do the other side black, see what looks better. We do have our HyperDip. This is basically a peelable, sprayable spray paint. We're gonna put this on the wheel, changing the color from the orange to the black. If I don't like it, you can just peel it off. Good news. I think these are like $6, $7 a can. We do have our purple grips, some cheap ones on Amazon. They're like 8 bucks. I believe there's 7/8 of an inch on the throttle side. We're gonna have to cut it because these are too long. The Tuttio's got that little cheapy throttle, so luckily I bought this Send It handlebar pad, and it came with the little donut ring, so when I cut that, I can just put one of those rings there. And coolest thing here is basically this 3D printed by the serial nut. It's basically a V-tailed rear fender, so it's gonna look a lot better. And yeah, let's give this bike a wash and then we'll get it wrapped. Let's get it. All right, we took the battery out and covered the charge port with a little bag. Pretty much all the accessories are off. Time to give this thing a wash. If you know, you know. All right, here's all the tools I have for this project. Gonna definitely need a heat gun or blow dryer. Gonna want to heat up this wrap so it gets, you know, unbunched. It's all like stretchy, rolled up. Gonna definitely need that. I got my toolkit right here from Tuttio. It's a 14 and 17 millimeter wrench. I'm gonna need to take off the front and rear wheel. Phillips head screwdriver, take off, I think there's a couple screws I gotta take off. I got a utility knife to make the fine cuts on the wrap. Obviously I got scissors to cut the wrap. Fat tip Sharpie marker to get rid of all the orange and just other junk on there. I'm gonna paint with a Sharpie marker instead of some spray paint. Pliers to get off the foot pegs. It's got that little cotter pin on the bottom that I bent. Zip ties for the ODI plate and also removing the grips if I need to use this to get the grips off. I had this junk just laying around the garage. This is 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch flexible tubing, or also known as Loom tubing. I'm gonna basically hide the orange cable, power cable, with this. And then some masking tape to mask off the sprocket, the bearings, and things like that on the wheels. Yeah. All right, we had to come inside. It's way too hot outside, so we are inside gonna wrap this bike. Here's our little Send It handlebar pad. Came with 2 of these little Send It covers. One says Send It on 2 sides, one says it on 3. But I thought I was gonna have to trim these edges. Already removed the Tuttio handlebar pad. Literally just slides over. It fits like a glove. So obviously this little white stuff just peels off. Here is our serial nut rear fender, the ABS plastic. Looks like there's even holes right here for a tail light modification. All right, should hopefully just slide on. And see if those things all line up. Sorry if it's all shaky. I mean, they don't look too bad for that little rear fender. Way better than the Tuttio one. And here's our grips. Hopefully these are the right size. I can already tell these are going to be a pain in the butt trying to rip off. I think I have to trim a little of this throttle. So if I cut it right here, this the handlebar pad came with like Send It donuts, so I can hopefully just put that right there, butt it up, something, I don't know. All right, let's get into the wrapping portion. All right, didn't realize this little top section right here, it's made of plastic, so I don't know if I'm gonna wrap that, but game plan is to kind of split a piece of the wrap it here at this first weld, one piece, another piece, split, down, down, up, and yeah, I'm gonna have to remove this foot peg, kind of go from there, and let's heat up this wrap and start putting it on. All right, so my first piece, I'm gonna try to like measure from this left side weld to this right side weld. All right, cut it here, heat it up, stick it on. Hopefully I can kind of get it through here. I don't know if that's a good idea or bad idea, but we're about to try it. All right, so I'm gonna heat this piece of vinyl up, piece of wrap up, and hopefully it sticks good and looks good. We're fixing to find out here in a second. All right, I got the cut piece. Essentially what we're trying to do, get it to these little welds right here. All right, I guess it'll peel off the backing, stick it on, and hopefully it works. I'm gonna have to trim the top, most likely the bottom too. Let's get it. All right, it's on. Let's go ahead and try to heat it up. Get all this, some wrinkles in here. See if I can smush them out. Make this thing look pretty. Trying to heat it up to warm it up, that way I can get all these bubbles out. All right, so I'm slowly heating this thing up and working these bubbles out. This frame is nice and smooth. It's gonna look way better than the E-Ride for sure. All right, get all these bubbles out and then we'll move on to the next part. All right, so the game plan is I'm not gonna cut this one yet. I'm gonna try to put this underneath and then overlap here and overlap this section, so this one's kind of hidden underneath. Hopefully it looks good. All right, so we're kind of stuck on underneath this one. I'm gonna try to heat it up, and I don't know where I'm gonna cut it, but basically, yeah, that's where we're at. All right, just cut my piece. I'm gonna have to measure it up, cut right here. I'm gonna definitely have to heat it up for this little bolt section right here. Get this thing out of the way, stick it on, and see how it looks. All right, I ended up taking off the foot peg and the motor housing cover in case you're ever wondering what the motor looked like. That's where it is. A whole bunch of junk in here I gotta clean out. All right, so this is probably the hardest piece to do because of this little bolt right here. All right, so I've been heating it up and smushing it around because I really don't want any kind of peely, nasty, crunchy looking pieces. So I've basically been heating it up, smushing it. I'm gonna cut it out in the middle of the utility knife, hopefully roll the edges in, and then probably use scissors or a straight edge to kind of just
trim this all up. But yeah, this little piece right here is super hard to get to stick. Not a professional wrap guy. Just don't want any creases or any big bubbles. So let's see if we can do it. So I think I killed all the stickiness on this wrap right here. It's really not sticking in this corner. Cut out a small little circle. I think I'm gonna clean up this edge with this little flat scalpel blade and do this little piece right next and wrap this over hopefully. I'm gonna cut this piece too. All right, so this piece going up, I just trimmed this edge. I'm gonna hopefully wrap this over, if that makes any sense. And when I get over here, I'm gonna wrap this one, wrap this piece over that piece. All right, we got a leftover piece. Hopefully I can put it in there and it doesn't look like crap. All right, so far we got this done. We're on to this. I think I'm gonna take off this controller bracket and hang it from like a bungee or something so I can do this X as well. All right, scratch trying to wrap this X. Took off the 6 bolts, it's a pain in the butt. All the wires are connected. So just gonna basically put the little lip of the wrap inside here, call it a day. That's staying black. All right, so I got all the excess cut off. I am going to do this little swing arm. I took the chain guard bolt out so I can just kind of tuck the overlap inside here. Let's get it. All right, swing arm's complete. Probably gonna cut this wrap right at this weld. It's gonna have some black back here because I gotta take this thing off in order to paint this wheel. If you didn't know, there's actually a serial number right here somewhere. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but basically, never knew that. Basically, the left side of the swing arm, that's where your Tuttio serial number is. All right, this is where we're at so far. Looking good. I didn't cut it here. Kept it as is. I'm gonna wrap the battery and that little metal piece right here so it's all forged carbon fiber. Wrap these forks and then do the other side. Let's get it. All right, here we got a battery on its side. Already measured it. This VViViD forged carbon fiber comes tightly rolled, so you really got to kind of heat it up to get it flat. Use your heat gun. Put it on, cut it out. Let's get it. Battery is super easy to wrap. This material is a little bit different. It's more firm and tough, so you can literally just put it on and cut it like it's a Christmas present and wrap all the corners. I'm gonna do the other side and then do these little plates and wrap the other side and be done. All right, so we're about to wrap this little piece. It's gonna put it on this way, but if you look at the 2 patterns, it's actually this way. So in case for some reason you're wrapping this, just make sure the patterns are going the same way. These are going like horizontal side to side. If you put it this way, it's going the wrong way. So that way it kind of all looks the same. All right, so we had a lot of leftover forged carbon fiber. So we put it on this fork. It actually doesn't look too bad. Wheels are gonna be black. I mean, you can see that color change. We're inside, the lighting stinks. I do have silver chrome wrap, but I just threw some aluminum foil on there to kind of see what would look better. There's really no chrome accents, silver accents on this bike besides the handlebars and actual sprocket in the back. I think we're gonna go for the all black look. All right, excuse the mess, but there is the black forks in forged carbon. Not too bad. Knock out this side, call it a day. Spray the rims, be done with this stuff already. All right, of course, the sun is not out the second I get my first look outside. Yeah, there it is. So I gotta get rid of all this orange, put on the purple grips, ODI front plate, headlight, and purple grips, and maybe some lights underneath it. All right. Go paint them rims and that rear shock. I got the wheel off. 17 millimeter for the nut, 14 millimeter for the actual bolt. Big spacer on the brake side, little spacer on the other side. Time to cover up the brake and the bearings and let's give this thing a spray. All right, the important stuff is protected. This stuff right here, HyperDip, is essentially like a better version of Plasti dip. What it is a sprayable, peelable paint. So it's almost like essentially spraying on rubber on this thing. So I really don't care if I get on the tires, I'll just peel it off and yeah, hopefully this isn't a nightmare. All right, moment of truth for this Plasti dip. Yes, I did a horrible job. I rushed it. But in theory, I'm supposed to just be able to peel off all this peelable paint. Should break right there at the seam of the rim and get all this excess off. I'm trying to do this as I'm holding this thing. So far, so good. It could definitely be better. I rushed it. There's a couple imperfections, like I nicked it right there with a sprayer. But let's get all this peelable rubber off the outside of these tires and get it back on the bike. All right, we got the final product with everything peeled off. Here's all the junk that came off. Could it be better? Yep. But hey, it was quick and easy. All right, we got the wheels installed. In case I didn't go over with it, 17mm washer, 14mm bolt, big spacer on brake side, little spacer on washer side. Come back over here. Same thing, 17mm washer, big spacer, little spacer, brake side, 14mm. All right, what we're doing to the rear shock is we're actually taking a Sharpie marker and just painting with a Sharpie. We gotta kind of get in the inside. I didn't want to spray all this crap. Same thing with up here. Taking a Sharpie marker, just changing the red to black. Let's finish that up and then put some more stuff on. All right, so I cut the Sharpie insides, turned it into a paint marker, and now I'm just kind of smushing it around, getting all this orange stuff off. All right, here's that flexible tubing. I covered the main orange power cable. I think that one was a 1/2 inch, and the little one was, I think, a 1/4 inch, and then just threw a zip tie on there, so I got no more orange here. All right, we pretty much got everything back on. ODI front plate, light, front fender, seat, battery, shocks, pretty much as good as it's gonna get in our new V-tail rear fender. Seat's back on. It'd be cool to do a gut seat, but it don't fit good and we're really not doing wheelies on this thing. All right, let's figure out how to put on these purple grips and then I think we're done. All right, these things are like on here. I'm gonna try to heat them up, get them warm. Hopefully they will slip off here in a minute. I'm gonna do this and then hopefully get this grip on. All right, so heating it up worked perfectly fine. So you can see these on the end of these handlebars, they got like a little filed edge, but yeah. Let's see if the new grips are the right size. All right, here are the 7/8 of an inch grips. Looks like they fit pretty good, so I'm gonna try to heat it up so it's a little bit more pliable and flexible. Slide that thing on, maybe even spin it or give it some lube to kind of get this thing on here. All right, let's get it. All right, so after heating it up, it slipped on kind of good. I don't know if it's because I spit on it to get it on, but the back end is kind of loose. I mean, up here is nice and tight. This one's a pain in the butt. I just heated it up. I wouldn't want to peel off. I don't want to break the throttle. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try to heat it up. I got kind of like a zip tie in right here, and I'm going to hope to kind of wiggle it and pull that zip tie and get this grip off. Let you know how it goes. All right, for anyone wondering, yes, this Tuttio throttle grip is actually glued on here. I heated it up, slowly kind of peeled it back, and you can see this thing is glued on here. I'm gonna have to keep heating it up, maybe even take a utility knife to cut this glue in order to get this grip off. Yeah, fun. All right, I had to cut this grip. As you can see, it's almost like tapered, kind of like a shape of a cone. Hopefully it's gonna fit. I tried putting this Send It donut here on the end, but it's hitting this, so the throttle will not snap back. So we're basically gonna slide that thing on here, heat it up, spit on it, whatever, get it on here, and call it a day. Grip's finally on. Literally spit on this thing, spit on this, heated it up, slid it on, twisted it on. We're done. Let's take it outside, see how it looks. Alright, hopefully I can catch some of the
color changing colors. It's kind of hard to get. Oh, yo, what up? Hey, check it out. What do y'all think?
Damn, that looks good.
Yeah.
Awesome, it looks just like a throttle.
Yep. So basically you two can have this look. I think everything in total costs right around like 120 bucks. So yeah. If you like the video, go ahead and like, subscribe. Remember, life's short, buy a bike. Until the next video, see you then, later.